Hello everyone. You know that the 9/11 attacks are considered the worst terrorist act of all the human history? Well, I'm gonna present you a timeline, so please follow me. We are in the year of 2001, in the month of August, so it's summer vacations. Well, on August 2001, America was more concerned about summer vacations than terror attacks. They never thought about a terror attack to their own nation. The big movie at the theater was American Pie 2, and Beyoncé was thinking about ditching her career in order to make a solo career. The big stories in the news were about shark attacks and wildfire. So all the Americans had become too familiar with American Pie 2, but few have ever heard about Al-Qaeda or Osama bin Laden. So I'm gonna tell you that story. Well, in a short way. On the morning of the 11th of September 2001, 19 hijackers took control of 4 commercial airplanes flying on the east coast of the United States. 2 of those airplanes were deliberately flown into the main 2 towers. We all know them as the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in the city of New York. The third one hit the Pentagon in Virginia, and the fourth one never reached its intended target. It crashed in Pennsylvania. It is believed that the crew and the passengers of the fourth plane overpowered the hijackers and took control of that plane. But unfortunately, it crashed in Pennsylvania. Well, it's sad, but there were like almost 3,000 killed people in these attacks. The exact number is 2,753 human lives and like $10 billion in property and infrastructure damage. Well, why do I present you this example? Because this attack followed the definition of terrorism, because these were symbolic attacks. Why? Because the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center represent, they are the symbol of the America's powers and influence. So that's why, well, this group Al-Qaeda attacked that buildings. And of course, well, the Pentagon, because the Pentagon is the headquarters of the US Department of Defense. Well, our intention is to present you an outlook of the world of terrorism by giving the most shocking example, just like I did, by defining it, and well, right next we will present you we will talk about terrorism and the most common types of terrorism.
Okay, so now, what is terrorism? Terrorism is presented as to make a community to fear. It came from the word terrorisme from France, because the French government was terrorizing its government, its country, on the reign of terror. On November 2004, the United Nations created a report that terrorism is to hurt physical or go to death to the civilians, and also to create the government to go to do something that the terrorist wants them to do, or they don't want them to do. Right now, unfortunately, there is no formula to combat the terrorism, so that's why the United States and all of these countries are having so much trouble with them.
There's 4 types of terrorism. The first type is state terrorism. State terrorism is when the government uses force against civilians to achieve political goals. The second type of terrorism is bioterrorism. Bioterrorism is the release of toxic materials to harm or harm people. And the third type of terrorism is narcoterrorism. Narcoterrorism is the type of terrorism that uses violence to that the drug traders no. Narcoterrorism is the violence used by drug traders to prevent the government from stopping drug trade. And the last type of terrorism would be cyberterrorism. Cyberterrorism is the type of terrorism that uses technology to attack people.
So in conclusion, as we already mentioned, there's a lot of types of terrorism. They haven't found a way to combat it. So the only way is to see what people think about it and to try, well, to make it work with the government.